GM, what's good, people? It is currently 15 minutes past 5 p.m. UK time, Sunday, the 7th of December 2025. It is quarter past midnight, Monday, the 8th of December 2025 in Jakarta, 7th week in Indonesia. I'm still here in my homeland, and we are 7 hours ahead. For those that are unaware, at Mycelink, we do a free webinar every single Sunday, 5 p.m. UK time. Before it was 10 p.m. UK time, but that was way too crazy for me, and a lot of people complained it was too late, even though it was 5 a.m. my time. Before we get started, I'd like to iterate that nothing in this video is financial advice. I do not intend to be perceived or received as a financial advisor, neither does anybody that speaks on the show, including our guests, co-hosts, and fellow attendees. Mycelink is a decentralized ecosystem birthed in Q4 2025 at time of recording and during launch. Up until present, Mycelink is a non-legal entity. It is a idea in the atmosphere, and we are nothing but a community of like-minded people who are interested in similar things, including but not limited to crypto, investing, generational wealth, and AI. So, I would like to start off by saying I believe the bottom is near in, and we are going to enter an amazing parabolic phase of potentially an extended bull market. Now, a lot of people are obsessed with a 4-year cycle theory, myself included. As somebody who's been in the markets for 10 years, I had to unlearn this, right? So, the 4-year cycle theory includes theories such as the Bitcoin halving happening every 4 years and a bull market happening post American presidential election. So, as most of you are aware, Donald Trump was elected in November 2024. And we had a new American president in November 2020. We had a new American president in November 2016. And we had a new president in November 2012. And we had a new president in November 2008. Subsequent years after these years, 2009, post-2008 financial crash, we had a bull market, which was the recovery of the 2008 crash. We had a bull market in 2014. By bull market, I mean like the euphoric bull market, right? Where basically people who don't know anything about investing basically make money in the market because they just ride the wave and they think they're really intelligent. Most people don't actually sell or leave these euphoric bull markets with an exit plan and end up actually losing money. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, 2008 financial crash followed by 2009 recovery. Right, 2013, 2017, 2021. Now, everyone was surprised because 2025 it's been a difficult year. I can't lie. Q1 2025 was definitely the most difficult market for even me and a lot of veterans to navigate. We all expected, including billion-dollar hedge funds, for the market to just shoot up after Donald Trump's election. But obviously him and his very intelligent cronies had other plans. Now, if you study the markets before 2008, right, before everybody just regurgitates this kind of 4-year cycle, let's go to the S&P 500, you will notice, I'm going to take off indicators to make things very clear. So this is the COVID crash here, and this is the 2008 financial crisis. Notice what happens in the S&P 500, which is the greatest risk-on indicator in the world. What happens in the S&P 500 between March 2003 all the way to October 2007? We have a 100% increase in the S&P 500, and this is basically a 4-year super cycle. What happens here between 2000 and 2002? This is called the dot-com crash. However, before the dot-com crash, we were pretty much in a bull market for half a decade. Yes, between 95 to 2000 and 2003 all the way to 2007. Extended bull markets. Now, this is what I predict is going to happen in the next phase of the cycle. Why? Because I believe this is all timed with Donald Trump's reign, right, which will end in November 2028. So, I have this theory, and I've said it before on previous webinars. This is Mycelink Sundays, episode 9. That I believe that as long as Donald Trump stays alive, we will enter into a hyper super cycle phase where the market is basically programmed to consistently go up as long as this guy doesn't get assassinated or die because of natural causes. As long as Donald Trump remains in office, I believe the market is programmed to go up because there are only a handful of countries that control the world's liquidity pool. Let me show you guys. Over 50% of the world's GDP is in 3.6% of land. Those 3.6% pieces of land are Western Europe, these pockets of the USA, the edge of China, and Japan. So there's only 5 major liquidity pools in the world, so money pools, that basically control the risk sentiment of the markets. The US Fed, the Federal Reserve, the PBOC, the People Bank of China, the ECB, which is the European Central Bank, the BOJ, which is the Bank of Japan, and the Bank of England. Yes, there are emerging markets, like Nigeria is a significant one, Indonesia, my own country, but remember there are 2 world economies. There's the real world economy and there's the financial markets. And unfortunately, fortunately, if you know, you know, the financial markets, which is just numbers on the screen, obliterates the size of the real world markets. The real world markets are about to take a turn towards the upside. We have, since the 2022 stock market and Bitcoin crash, let me remind you guys, just so nobody forgets this, right? This is the top of 2021 and the bottom of 2022. Now, I'm actually gonna pull up one of the homies in the audience, a very good and far better than me futures day trader, to test his knowledge. Cryzo, do you know why the market peaked in 2021 and why it crashed so hard between Q4 21 and Q4 22?
Tariffs.
Do you know the economic reason for this?
It was the Trump tariffs, right?
No, Trump tariffs was Q1 25. I'm talking Q4 21 and Q4 22. You wasn't even in crypto, but it's important that you know this.
Q4 21. Ah. Oh, bro, I must know it, but you caught me lacking on this one.
I'll tell you, it went from a quantitative easing environment to a quantitative tightening environment. It went from interest rates dropping and basically being zero to interest rates increasing.
Right.
That was the major, yeah, that was the major reason for these like super, red candles here. And this downtrend was it's replicated. Look, I put Bitcoin up, and then I'll put Meta stock up there in a second. It's the best example. Meta. If I just compare Bitcoin and Meta,
we just got out of quantitative tightening, didn't we? December 1st.
Yes, we have. Right. So look, look how in a similar time period, right, when Bitcoin drops like 75, 80%, Meta at the same time drops 75, 80%. And isn't that funny? You've got the biggest crypto in the world and like one of the biggest tech companies in the world taking this pretty much same drawdown at the same time. So it has been an amazing run in the sense that Bitcoin has run in a world where the ISM, let me just pull the ISM chart, which is the industrial something manufacturing chart. I can't remember the exact terminologies, but it's basically an indicator of how the world's doing. Where's the ISM? Let me get that up. ISM. Yeah. The United is something manufacturing. Come in. No way. Way. I think no way. Kroggy's dog. Camera. The camera itself here. Do you wanna just move everything from the sofa if you want? Yeah, move everything from the sofa and sit down. Mate. It's okay. It's okay. That's all right. I didn't think you was gonna make it, dog. What up?
Yo, no way.
Yeah, camera. No, what? Let me camera.
No,
It's
no way.
Do you want to the room? I don't know why the ISM is not loading right now. Just right. So I want you can move everything from the sofa if you want. Yeah, move everything from the sofa and just sit down, mate. Sit down, mate. Nice, okay, it's okay. Nice, all right.
Yo, stream.
What up? What up? What up?
Thank you for being.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. No, why is the Matrix attack? Brother just entered the room. I don't know why the ISM chart's not loading right now. Right. Anyway, I want you to go check out the ISM chart, and then you'll basically see that it's very low. Right now, what is about to happen, guys? Me and my magic wand and crystal ball. Now I'm joking. There's no crystal ball. There's no voodoo. I just studied. So this is what's going to happen in 30 to 90 days, right? The longest this is going to take is the end of February, and the quickest going to happen is in a few weeks. So you might want to pick your allocations, not financial advice. Right, so this is what's going to happen in the macro, right? You ready? Okay, so this TGA, the Treasury General Account, which has silently drained $750 billion since the start of this year. This is the savings account of the government. This is going to fall, right? And nearly $1 trillion of cash that's right now in the U.S. government savings account is gonna drop into the market. This liquidity is gonna pump. There's an 86.2% likelihood interest rates are gonna continue to drop. In March 2026, the current Federal Reserve head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, this guy, is about to end his term, right? Because you can only be the head of the Federal Reserve for X amount of years. I don't know how many years, but basically, him and Trump are not friends because Trump is a Republican and this guy's a Democrat, right? I'm not into American politics, but here's like the basics. The Democrats are basically like the U.S. equivalent of the Labour Party, and the Republicans, I guess you could say, are kind of like the Tories. Now, I'm not pro-Tory or Labour or Democrat or whatever. I am pro-capitalism, right? So, and that's it. So basically, the likelihood of this guy being replaced by somebody in Trump's cabinet is extremely high. It's basically economically, financially, and politically engineered for it to be so. Guys, I will tell you, yeah, when I don't know what's going on. When it was Trump tariffs, I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't sure. Was it going to be World War III? I didn't have conviction in the market. I was scared. I was shit in the bed. Yeah, I can't lie. I was scared at times, right? There's only a few times that the market can present me with these very, very bullish convictions, right? And they're not in the middle of things going up. I'm giving like a basic non-professional, very squeezed down macroeconomic lecture here, right, on Zoom. But I want to just start off by saying that I am extremely bullish in this market in terms of not financial advice. If you wanted to allocate into the market, the next 30 to 90 days could be the greatest opportunity you have between now and the end of Trump's reign, because it is so clear. It's the clarity, right? Trump has been in office now for like a year, and he's fucked a lot of people. In the time of his presidency, he's almost caused World War III, which I don't think is actually true. Have some kind of conspiracy that him and like the Chinese government, I mean the Chinese president are probably scheming things themselves. Because isn't it funny, right? If you look at this, right, world's biggest BTC holders, right? Look at this. You're not gonna believe who the biggest holders of Bitcoin are. The number one is the US government, right? Okay, world biggest BTC holders by country.
US,
China, and then UK.
no, is El Salvador in the mix? I swear El Salvador and Bhutan that's pretty big on Bitcoin. Maybe I'm mistaken.
In fact, let's ask Grok. Why am I going on Google Images like a fucking noob? Right, we AI everything now. Instead. Who are the top 10? Which top 10 countries hold the biggest BTC and how much? How much? Include the US, China, the UK. So yeah, the US own nearly 200,000 BTC, and China. Isn't it funny how the USA and China own almost the same amount of Bitcoin? Almost identical, followed by the UK. You know, this actually brings me another case. Not that I want to stay in the UK, but I honestly think that the UK's Bitcoin holdings might be a saving grace. Third biggest country BTC holder in the world. Yeah, 61.
I didn't know about Bhutan and El Salvador, bro. There's some dark horses.
Yeah, there's some dark horses, man. But yeah, so so quantitative tightening has officially ended, right? We have an 86% likelihood of interest rates dropping. Let me ask Croc this question. Tell me the US Fed interest rates between let's call it January 2020 and now. Give me every single quarter. Okay, back to this. So Q1 2020, the interest rates were pretty much zero all through COVID. And then from Q1 2022, remember the market peaked in Q4 2021, they started increasing. Look how interest rates were basically zero all of 2020, basically zero, less than 1%. Then in 2022, they went from 0 to 1%, all the way to 3%. The hell of the bear market was this time, Q4 22, Q1 23. And then we continue to have, fucking hell, interest rates were really high in 2023 and 2024, right? So the market decided to just put money in meme coins because that's where the volume was, right? Like on a different level of the risk. I remember the trenches were so hot these times, right? and then they're starting to drop. What do you think is going to continue to happen? Do you think Trump is going to allow the interest rates to go back up? He will not allow it. He will not allow it, right? Money can only go in a few places in this world. It can be in cash. It can be in government bonds, right, which is a promised interest yield. Let me just show you the bond chart. I'll show you the bond chart. It's not a bullish chart, right? Money not in bonds equals money in risk on assets. Okay, without being a super technician, on the 10-year, the 5-year, and the 2-year, is this a bullish or a bearish chart? Because this is a downtrend, right? And if money is not being locked up in bonds, it's not going to be saved in cash because they keep printing it. It has gone into gold. It is going into silver. It will forever go into real estate. But at some point, it has to go into risk on assets, aka the stock market, and then crypto. So, that is my basic kind of. Oh wait, actually, no. Got a quick excerpt from Professor Adam, and then we'll go into some technicals. So this is from Wednesday. So, what Professor Adam, in 1 to 3 months, I'm going to bet that there is a market catastrophe which forced the Fed to deploy the bazooka. Deploy the bazooka as in turn on the money printer. The BTC gold ratio looks primed in BTC's favor. Let me show you what the BTC gold ratio is, right? The BTC gold ratio. Oh, not the BTC sol ratio. BTC USD gold. That's how I create this chart? No, okay. What do I type into TradingView to get the BTC gold ratio? I forgot what you actually type. Since it will look perfectly, Bitcoin is divided by spot gold. If you heard Binance price, yeah, this one was good. BTC USDT XAUSD. Type that in. Bing. All right, so it currently costs 21 ounces of gold per BTC as of now. Right, stick on some indicators. 21 ounces of Bitcoin for 21 ounces of gold for 1 Bitcoin. MacD. Right, so this looks like it's breaking out the RSI. What does this mean when this goes up? It means it costs more gold to buy BTC. Basically, it means that this is going up either faster or in the opposite direction, in which gold will either be going up slowly, consolidating, or going down, in which the ratio moves up faster with more velocity. And also we have a MacD, we have flashes of MacD here. Okay, I can see bearish exhaustion on the weekly, and basically it's bottomed out here. So what my professor is saying is the risk is about to be turned on. Also here we have a bullish reversal candle. I think it's called a pin bar or something in technical analysis. I forget. Cross-border capital empty liquidity correlations look extremely bullish over the next 3 months. This is good. Let me have a look at liquidity. Liquidity is. I've not looked at this chart for a while. This one? No. The US M2 money supply, which has been a steady uptrend for the past year. Okay, that makes sense. This is going to shoot up more because this TJ is about to the savings account is about to drop anytime in the next 0 to 90 days. So time to strap in and lock in whilst nobody cares, right? You have to care when nobody cares, because that's the time to care, right? The time to care is when nobody cares. when everybody cares, that's when you need to basically leave the market, typically speaking. Yeah, not care. So that's usually the time we're going to sell the assets and go on holiday. So, 3 to 12 months. I have a strong upside bias over the next 12 months. 12 months. People are calling a bear market. It's insane, right? Now, I understand if you just look at TA, which is just not a good way, TA alone, right? Like, if you just did TA, let's say you just looked at the structure of the chart, you can argue and say, well, we've got, let's go to the daily. You could look at Bitcoin and say, well, we have lower highs here. So it's basically a bear market and we're going to go down here and it's all over, right? Like, if I looked at this chart and I didn't know it was Bitcoin, I didn't know anything about economics, I could look at this chart and be like, oh, it's lower highs. Yeah, TA textbook tells me we're going to go into a bear market and then it's going to take ages to go down and then there's just no point in being invested in the market. That's what they want you to think, right? This is not how you should look at the market. You should look at the market in different angles. ISM and liquidity cycle analysis suggest strongly extended bull markets. Copper gold ratio as a surrogate for real economic rotation to growth is looking like a generational low. Right? Look at the copper gold ratio. The copper gold ratio right here, right now. 1 second. These three lines are representative of the 4 previous bull markets: the 2009 post-2008 crash, recovery 2013, 2017, and 2021. Look, we are at the lowest it's ever been, right? What's that phrase? The bigger they are, the harder they fall, the lower they are. And then on the opposite to that, the lower it goes, the more it can spring up. I don't think people realize this. I'm so excited. When this starts to turn around, it means that the real world economy is bullish. And when you have, look, you can have a bearish real world economy and a bullish market, right? This is possible. But what you cannot have, guys, okay, I'm going to say that again. You can have a real world economy that is doing okay to not so good and have a bullish financial market. This is possible because financial markets are unreasonable, erratic, and the place where risk is turned on, right? Because of options trading and liquidity and derivatives. However, let me tell you what's impossible. It is impossible to have a prospering real world economy, right? Where employment is good, inflation is controlled, business is doing well, and for the markets to crash. This is just not possible. It's not possible, right? It's not possible because it's not possible for million, billion, and even trillion-dollar economies and countries to be doing well, have excess cash, and not put it in the market. This is impossible, right? This has been backtested since 1704. The real world economy is about to bounce up, whilst monetary policy is in favor of the markets going up, with, I hate to call him the global world leader, but the current global world leader being one of the greatest human capitalists of modern era, right? Not that I'm saying I agree with everything that he says, because it's a bit of a Zyle, right? But that's just the truth. And yeah, I hope you guys can see. So, okay, I don't want to talk about economics forever. I do want to go into some individual assets and technicals. Global liquidity is projected to continually rise as central banks look to calm bond markets amidst refinancing requirements. By calm bond markets, what they mean is the world money supply is slowly and surely ripping money out of these bonds, selling them to other countries, and becoming liquid. They're becoming liquid, right? This bond market is bigger than all the money in the world, and that is a lot of liquidity. The fiscal situation in the USA is terrible and getting worse at an accelerated pace. This will require extreme levels of soft default monetization. Extremely bullish for inflation hedge assets, BTC, over the next couple of years. Blah, blah, blah. Bull market will be around for a while and progressively leaning towards the idea of a super cycle due to the obliteration of fiat-based debt. Let's talk about debt for a second. A crazy start. Are you ready for this? Boom. Global debt just hit over $300 trillion. $300 trillion. That's insane. I want to have a look at Netflix stock because they just acquired Warner. Did you see that?
Netflix.
Acquired Warner. So, yeah, Netflix acquired Warner. So they own all the Harry Potter movies. They own the entire of the DC universe. Batman, Superman, all of Game of Thrones, Friends, Cartoon Network. Yeah.
When did you buy them?
A few days ago. I'm sure they've been working on it for a while. They were basically in a bidding war against Paramount and CNBC, and they won. $82 billion acquisition, right? And check this, if I just drop this, right? What is the size of the global valuation of intellectual property versus the real estate market versus bonds versus debt versus global debt versus global fiat currency supply versus the stock market? I think it's like 500 trillion or some crazy shit like that. The total asset value of intellectual property is $50 to $100 trillion embedded, which is actually not too far, which is more than all the money in existence. It's a crazy world out there, right? It's a crazy world. You got to kind of like deep these concepts in the world because there's just money flying about everywhere. And if you can just position your money in places where liquidity injects, you will make money in the long term. Right. So, I think that's enough firing off of this stuff. Before I go into some individual assets, because that's the real value, right? Like, what do we buy? Rylan and Chryso, have you got any questions? I know I'm firing off so much information here, but we've got a limited amount of time.
When did you say the bull market is going to start? Roughly.
No, we're good. All right, let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly have a look. I'm just gonna turn on my indicators. Your classic RSI, your classic MacD, your classic 10-20 moving average. Oh, is that a question? The beginning of, I'd say we're already in a bull market, and it's a bit subjective because we've got blockchain backer who I really rate. He actually says that we've basically been in a bear market since like Q2 25. We're about to come to the end of a bull market. So I'm just going to say, instead of the start of the bull market, but I'm going to say the beginning of euphoria. We have not seen euphoria, and you've not lived through it yet, because I know when you go into crypto. Oh, there's a lag. Shit, man. I think euphoria is going to begin in the next 0 to 90 days, and it's going to go on for like a year. Okay, so S&P 500 is breaking out all-time highs. VIX volatility is beginning to show signs of high volume. Nasdaq is breaking out all-time highs. crypto top 10 is pretty much at the bottom, in my opinion. This is pretty much on trend. Let me just break this down to the 3 days. Yeah, there we go. That's like the best. That's like textbook TA right there. Top 10 cryptocurrencies. About to break out the RSI on the 3-day, and we've got bearish exhaustion on the MacD. If I switch this to the daily, we've already broke out and we're trending upwards. Do I think the bottom is in? Yeah, pretty much, unless there's a catalyst. Crypto total market cap, again, about to break on the RSI to bullish momentum, bearish exhaustion on the 3-day. 12 moving average about to cross the 26 on the 3-day, and the daily is already crossed. It crossed literally on Tuesday. Crossed on Tuesday. Same for total 2, same for total 3. Let's go for others. Others has a little bit more space to grind sideways or down, in my opinion. Unless we get this flash crash here, which would have to be some black swan event. Is the Bitcoin bottom in? Yes, in my opinion. This RSI is about to break out to the upside. If I was a futures trader, which I am not, I would look at some longs. Pretty clear to me, right? Everything's pretty clear to me. The holy grail of the ETH BTC ratio. When is altcoin season happening? We've been waiting so long for altcoin season. Why have we been waiting forever since altcoin season? There's not been an altcoin season. This is why there's not been an altcoin season, guys. Because this is the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what this is here? Guess what this is here to here? That's altcoin season. This was a whole last altcoin season for 1 year. And this was the alt season of the 2017 bull market. So because we've not done that yet, except this little bounce here, this is why there's not that much liquidity in alts. Is it coming? Yes. When is it coming? In 0 to 90 days, in my opinion. And alts will outperform BTC. Not all alts, but a lot of alts will outperform BTC. Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin, in my opinion, very, very shortly. Is the ETH bottom in? Yes, in my opinion, the ETH bottom is pretty much in. I don't see this crashing down unless there is a black swan event, which can happen. If we go to the daily here, it pretty much broke out on Tuesday. That's why we do weekly webinars. Oh my god, when I looked at Dogecoin, I just thought, yo, Dogecoin. I've been waiting for this Dogecoin bottom for so long. I've been waiting for the Dogecoin bottom for so long, and I think it's bottomed out. Because we see here, look, come on, if I go down to like the 12-hour, no, that's too ambitious. Yeah. So, I honestly think that this is the Dogecoin bottom. I think the lowest Dogecoin can go is like 1 cent lower. Like, that's it. Like, this is the cheapest. Unless we have a black swan event, right? Which is possible. I think this is the Dogecoin bottom. I think it's the cheapest you're going to get Dogecoin. Now, let me talk about Solana. Solana. This is the greatest risk to reward asset on planet Earth in my peripheral, in my opinion. So it doesn't mean that you can't buy something that can outperform Solana. Of course, you can buy something that can outperform Solana. You can jump on Dex Screener right now and then maybe make 200% in 5 minutes. But at the same time, you can lose all your money. So the reason why I'm so bullish on Solana, there's a multitude of reasons. First of all, this TA is sexy as fuck, right? If you backtest Solana on the daily and the 3-day, on pure RSI and MacD, you will see that every single time Solana breaks out of this yellow, it always runs. It always runs. It's literally ran every single time since the dawn of history when it breaks out of this yellow, right? Obviously, this was a bear market, so it doesn't really count, right? I mean, even in the bear market, it's still did a lot bumpy, right? It's still did a lot bumpy. 72% in the bear market, that's not bad. Right, so but the reason why I'm so bullish about this, about Solana, is a multitude of reasons and not just technicals. Fundamentally speaking, Solana has proved to be the meme coin chain, right? And where do degenerates want to be? They want to be, including myself, on Solana. So it's where retail volume is, and it is very soon where institutional volume is going to be. 1 second. I can talk or I can grow, and I would rather grow. So we've got Western Union using Solana as their chain of choice, Solana stablecoins, and the Solana ETFs opening up. 1 second. Tell me the top 10 institutional catalysts for Solana chain, including but not limited to Western Union using Sol as the chain of choice for stablecoins. What else? Solana ETFs and more. Right, so amidst this Solana crash, right, and the market crash, and mind you, the market is still in fear. But look, it's in fear, but it's not as fearful as it was on the 20th of November. Now, on the 20th of November, I don't want to call the bottom yet, because it's not time to call the bottom. The time to call the bottom is when the bottom is beginning to reverse. Does that make sense, guys? Look at the bottom. Look how it's beginning to reverse, right? Textbook TA, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. As it's beginning to break past this trend, this is when I like to call the bottom, right? Let's go here. So, Solana ETFs were approved literally amongst the crash. All these ETFs were approved during the fall of Solana. Can you see? Can you see how the matrix likes to messes with us? This is extreme. This is the most bullish institutional flow of possibility you could ever have for the fastest retail chain available and most adopted, right? Western Union adopts stablecoins, blah blah blah. You've got these asset management companies, BlackRock building a tokenized fund on Solana. Obviously, that's big. Visa expand USD settlements on Solana. PayPal USD and integrated 400 million consumers. That's 5% of planet Earth, right? What else have you got? 5%. This is absolutely insane, right? Look, all you need to do is go to coinmarketcap.com. Let's go back to basics, right? There is only $75 billion in Solana, right? $75 billion on Solana. Almost as much as there is in USDC. Okay? I think that Solana might become the third biggest crypto in the world. I don't see why it wouldn't go past XRP. Like, why would it not? It's definitely better than BNB. This is the theory. I don't know. I don't know if Solana's going to become the third biggest crypto or not. But
tell you what, though, for me, the flaw in Solana was when they did the Trump launch. You know how the whole chain is going to handle. I feel like when it comes to mass adoption, that's where Solana lacks. And I feel like that's why if you're trying to build a project or anything kind of serious, don't really go for Solana. In fact, it's just a new gen chain. And I do think, for me, that was like a big red flag in Solana. is that they couldn't handle like a lot of people using it at the same time, you know?
They couldn't handle it during that moment in time. However, what you have to understand is when an ETF is approved, you best believe those problems have been solved before the ETF has been approved. I don't believe they would allow the infrastructure of trillion-dollar asset management companies. 1 second. Solana ETF lows, right? Let's actually see. Name me all the Sol ETFs from largest to smallest when each one got approved and Solana holdings in each ETF. And also remember, like we're always playing this game with the short end of the stick. So I don't even know if these things are like fabricated or whatever. Grayscale. Okay, so Grayscale are basically the oldest crypto asset management company on earth. Look at all these approvals. Most of these approvals happen during all of this fear, because the market's peaked on the 14th of October, or 10th to the 14th. So Grayscale had the biggest Solana fund. They've got 2 million coins. How many Solanas exist? 560. All right, cool. So not even 1% of the supply yet. Okay, so there's no crazy inflow of money yet into these ETFs, but I wouldn't see. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. This is what I predict. I could be completely wrong. Don't put all your money in Solana. But I would argue, right, on a race to make 100%. What? Like, I'm trying to imagine. I'm trying to imagine I'm a $100 billion hedge fund. And I'm looking at the market and I'm thinking, I want to make 100%. Where do I make 100%? Well, I'm not going to make 100% in Bitcoin anytime soon. That's insane. Bitcoin will not just fly to 180K. It's very reasonable to think Ethereum could do 100%. That's reasonable. That's reasonable. BNB, I don't know. I'm a bit funny with BNB now, because now you've got like a co-CEO, and you're not the greatest exchange in the world anymore, and people don't want to load their money on the BNB chain, and the BNB chain is not as good as Solana, and it's not as fast, and it's just not as good as Solana in my opinion. And I don't see BNB flying to $2,000 anytime soon. You know why I don't see BNB doing 2x as quickly as Solana? Because it's not 2x from the high. That's my basic theory. 57%. 57% very good. 57% very good from the high. But Solana is literally 2x from the high. It's 2x from the high that it was in the previous cycle. It's like triple topped this high 3 times. 1, 2, 2.5, 3, like 3 times. Come on, bro. You tell me that's not gonna swing up? Come on, man. Look at the TA. Look at the TA. It's saying I'm gonna go up, baby. Buy me. That's what it's saying. That's what it's saying to me. Okay, you know what stock I really wanted to look at? Netflix stock. Holy shit. Netflix. What are you saying? Oh my god. Okay, it's not that cheap. Okay, it's not that cheap. Netflix stock has not pumped after the news of acquiring the biggest intellectual property in the world. That's
right.
Yeah, I think it's just not caught on yet.
Yeah.
Where's the market cap of Netflix stock? Let's have a look. Market cap of Netflix stock.
You said it only a few days ago.
Pengu is nearly 1/5. Yeah. No, okay, there's $500 million in Netflix. $500 million in Netflix stock. $500 million in Netflix stock. Let me check this. Yeah. In the Nasdaq, where does Netflix lie? EG 50th biggest or 60th. How does Netflix market cap compare to AMD and other major tech stocks, not including the Magnificent Seven? Is that Google, Microsoft, Amazon, the multi-trillion-dollar ones? The Magnificent Seven refers to Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, and Tesla, with market caps exceeding $2 trillion each. Does make sense. Okay, Netflix is not as exciting as I thought, even though it's very fundamentally bullish. Maybe like this level, 86. Keep watching Netflix stock. If that crashes to a really good price, I think it could be a stock buy of the century, because fundamentally it owns the biggest IP in the world. Yeah, Prague. Have you got anything to say? Anything to add? And then we'll leave a meditation.
What do you
Go with some
if another
assets.
COVID hit, right? Do you think we could see another market suppression, or do you think it's bullish enough that if there was a virus outbreak in 2020, how would
If
maybe a pretty bold question?
Yeah, if we get a virus that doesn't infiltrate the 5 biggest liquidity pools in the world, which is the US, America, Japan, Western Europe, China, as long as it doesn't hit those countries, then no, the markets will be fine. The thing is as an individual human, I believe that all races and all lives are equal. However, in the world of capitalism, which is a bloodbath, that is not the case. The lives that matter the most when it comes to financial markets continuing to run are the 5 biggest liquidity pools. So, again, not here to be racist.
There is.
That's going to spread across the world.
Yeah.
When?
There's already an article on the road of that week. It's called the avian
influenza.
influenza.
Okay. And since they know it exists, would America and China stop it from entering and spreading their countries?
Correct. The viruses don't work like that. They spread like COVID.
Yeah, but I think COVID was fabricated. I think the pandemic was planned.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to suggest is that something else is going to get planned.
Something else.
With this virus.
Something else can get planned. Something else can get planned after Euphoria.
Yeah, but I'm just giving you a heads up. It's there, babe.
I'm not saying it's not there, but I don't think that the powers in the world will allow for this to happen in the middle of interest rates dropping, the world economy rising, and the money printer. I think this could be a catalyst to top the market and to crash the market after too many people get rich.
Yeah.
But not before. It doesn't make sense. Anything can happen, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like, before, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, but before the market is primed to go up, it doesn't make sense to me why the world powers would allow a virus to start not killing off, but shutting the world off again.
Because they're documenting it right now. So I do believe that next year, a lot of people will suffer from this. The market's going to be great and then crash. Then everybody will have to be isolated. Just like with COVID.
In which case, it's very important that we all make a lot of money now before we get locked down and then move to desirable countries. That's the unfortunate case. Make your exit plans, guys. Yeah, maybe I need to look more into to take this more seriously.
Yeah, it's there, dude.
What's it called again?
That's not even the one I'm worried about.
Clark mentioned this a few days ago.
No, I'm talking about a different one.
Oh, really? They posted this 2 days ago.
Go on. We'll have a look now on screen. What's it called again?
Marburg virus.
What is it called? The
Marburg virus.
Marburg virus.
Okay. Tell me about the top diseases spreading in the world right now, including the Marburg. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's killing people.
Virus.
It's spread through bats. That's why I don't like it, but it's just COVID ass formula, right?
Ethiopia. What else? What are you reading about?
Avian influenza.
Avian influenza and others that would potentially shut down the world like COVID. Also, give me your AI prediction on the possibility of this happening. I don't see the world powers, including Trump, allowing this to spread. Free market euphoria and free primed bull market. All right, let's have a look. I can't ignore my two co-hosts saying this. As of early December 2025, global health surveillance from organizations like the World Health Organization, CDC and Africa CDC report over 100 active outbreaks across 66 countries, driven by factors such as climate change, declining vaccination rates, this and that. These include respiratory-borne, several explanations with 20 plus diseases involved, but I focus on the most prominent ones currently spreading, including the Marburg virus outbreak in Ethiopia and avian influenza, plus others with high transmissibility and severity. I prioritize based on the volume, geographic spread, and recent surges. So,
Marburg is a lot bigger.
Mpox. Re-emerging aggressively in Africa and beyond, the World Health Organization declared a second public health emergency of international concern in August 2025. Spreads via close contact, including sexual transmission, is more severe. US confirmed that 22,000 have confirmed globally, 78 deaths. Okay. It's not a lot. Measles, avian influenza, widespreading birds, dairy, sporadic human spillovers, First US severe human case in 2025. Global mutations raise alarms. No sustained human to human yet, but one mutation could change that.
Baby, it's like, what's that movie called? 28 days later. One mutation could change that.
Okay. So avian influenza is one of the highest risk. Circulating US dairy cows, 30% human CF or whatever that means. If it gains human airborne transmission, possible by one mutation, it could rival 1918, 50 million deaths. Experts warn of craps tables odds. Ongoing animal reservoirs give evolution chances. Oh, shit, okay. All right, so with the Marburg virus, which puts us number 2, Ebola. Ethiopia strain matches East African ones, limited spread but urban introduction to overwhelm systems, no vaccine treatment, supportive care only. Pandemic threshold, if bat human contact surges with deforestation climate, cross-border jumps.
What did you say about Bangladesh though?
It doesn't, I've not read anything about Bangladesh.
Nipah virus. What is Nipah virus?
Nipah virus, bat reserves in Southeast Asia, sporadic clusters, e.g. Bangladesh, human-to-human via droplets. The World Health Organization blueprint priority, one outbreak could seed global if travel linked, potential high but contained so far. Right, let's have a look at his prediction. As built by AI, my prediction uses probabilistic modeling from historical data. I estimate a 15 to 25% chance of COVID scale event from these pathogens in 2025 breakdown. Base case, low probability, contained outbreaks. High risk triggered by some mutation during the winter flu season. Shit. Your point on world powers, e.g. Trump era, suppressing pre-market chaos is spot on. Political incentives favor containment narratives over panic, potentially delaying alerts as in early COVID. But transparency has improved. World Health Organization now mandates data sharing. Overall, we're better prepared than 2019. But complacency could tip odds higher. Focus on boosters hygiene, surveillance to hedge. Expect volatility. Bull runs hate uncertainty. Okay, well, I never added this in my geopolitical risk factor, but this is also possible. Everything I said about the RSI and the MacD and quantitative easing and interest rates dropping are completely obliterated if Trump dies and/or we have a global health virus. All my theories are obliterated, and you should sell all your portfolios into cash if that happens, because I don't know anymore.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. It's just, this is what's in the news right now, and it could spread.
I don't see anything happening before.
Yeah, basically. But it's good to be aware. It's good.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Welcome to this guided meditation. Close your eyes and focus on the sound of my voice. Allow your body to become completely relaxed. Release all tension. Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. Today, we will go on a journey together in a sacred forest of abundance, where we will activate your reticular activating system and align your energy with unlimited prosperity and success. You remain fully aware and present, absorbing every word. You're going to be deeply relaxed. You will stay awake and let your body and mind relax. Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. Now, I want you to visualize yourself standing at the entrance of a lush, vibrant tropical forest. The warm air pulses with unlimited possibility and abundance. You see a clear path before you, inviting you forward. As you take your first step onto the path, you feel the soft earth beneath your feet. Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. You begin walking deeper into the forest. Sunlight filters through the emerald green canopy above, creating dancing patterns of light and shadow. You hear the gentle songs of a tropical bird welcoming you. A vibrant parrot flies overhead, its brilliant colors reflecting the abundance that surrounds you. With each step, you feel more grounded, more powerful, and more prosperous. Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. As you continue walking, the forest radiates powerful energy. A jaguar crosses your path gracefully in the distance, strong, confident, and purposeful. You embody this power. Monkeys playfully swing through the trees above you, reminding you that abundance flows with joy and ease. A beautiful butterfly lands on your hand. Transformation is occurring within you right now. Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. You arrive at a magnificent clearing in the center of the forest. Golden light pours down from above, illuminating this sacred space. A crystal clear waterfall flows nearby. It sounds soothing and energizing. This is your abundance sanctuary. This is where we activate your prosperity consciousness. Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. Standing in this clearing of your pure potential, repeat each affirmation out loud after me and feel the words flowing through every cell of your body. Here we go. I am the creator of my abundant reality.
I am the creator of my abundant reality.
I am financially opulent. Yes, yes.
I am financially opulent. Yes, yes.
Wealth flows to me naturally as this waterfall flows.
Wealth flows to me naturally as this waterfall flows.
I am a magnet for generational wealth.
I am a magnet for generational wealth.
Money loves me and seeks me out.
Money loves me and seeks me out.
I attract cryptocurrency abundance effortlessly.
I attract cryptocurrency abundance effortlessly.
Technology and innovation amplify my prosperity.
Technology and innovation amplify my prosperity.
I am aligned with frequency of wealth.
I am aligned with frequency.
Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. I am financially free.
I am financially.
I create wealth that serves my family for generations.
I create wealth that serves my family for generations.
AI and emerging technologies work for my prosperity.
AI and emerging technologies. Well,
I make wise investment decisions with clarity and confidence.
investment decisions with clarity and confidence.
I am a prosperous visionary.
I am a prosperous visionary.
Success is my natural state of being.
Success is my natural state.
I am surrounded by abundance.
I am surrounded by abundance.
Every opportunity I need finds its way to me.
Every opportunity I need finds its way to me.
It's ease.
It's ease.
It's easy.
It's easy.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's uplifting.
It's uplifting.
Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. I am peacefully richer.
I am peacefully action.
I am peacefully prosperous.
I
I build generational wealth with wisdom and grace.
build generational wealth with wisdom and grace.
My family's future is secure because of the decisions I make today.
Family's future is secure because of the decisions I make today.
I am a legacy builder.
I am a legacy builder.
Success is my spiritual being.
Success is my spiritual being.
Success is my financial being.
Success is my financial being.
Now, as you stand in this clearing, I want you to see yourself surrounded by abundance. Golden light fills this space and fills you. The animals of the forest gather around you peacefully. The jaguar, the birds, the butterfly, and even the monkeys. They recognize your power and your alignment with nature's abundance. You understand a person cannot be poor in a prosperous vibration. You understand wealth is your natural inheritance. You understand you are designed for abundance. Inhale from your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale from your mouth for 6 seconds. Everything in your life is going to get better for you. Every opportunity you pursue will flourish. Everything you touch will improve as you have the allowing power of the universe backed by the higher power. You're going to build wealth beyond what you've dreamed of. You're so relaxed, you're so powerful, so powerful. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 10 with each number. You'll return from this peaceful space carrying everything we've created together. 1, 2, you begin your journey back feeling empowered and aligned. 3, 4, new energy flows into every section of your being, every spot in your body. 5, 6, it's a phenomenal energy lifting you to a higher level of consciousness. 7, 8, everything is programmed in your mind. It's in the cells of your brain, there at will. 9, you're almost back now, carrying all this abundance with you. 10, wiggle your fingers and toes. Blink your eyes open and become aware of the relaxed and prosperous state you are in. You've walked through this space of possibility. Now carry this within you. Thank you for listening.
Right.
You're welcome. Sama-sama.
Thank you. That was
And
great.
toes. Blink your eyes open
You're
and become
welcome.
aware of the relaxed and prosperous state you are in. You've walked through this space of possibility. Now carry this within you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Sama-sama.
That was good.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Okay. Any questions specifically from Amanda?